When I call you up, please come to your name. Please come to the front of the courtroom. Do not lean on the bench unless you're signing paperwork, please. Mr. Halls, come on up.
Right here.
Yes, sir. What do you plan on doing about an attorney?
Get my own attorney.
The charge that you're facing this afternoon is attempted murder. The court must inform you that can carry you up to 30 years in prison. At this time, we'll hear from the solicitor's office.
You know, the facts I'll give will be pertinent to all four. Do you want to hear them now, or you want to do the paperwork first?
We can go ahead and you go ahead and do the facts for all four, and that way, when I come up, we'll just keep those in.
All right. Yeah. Yes, sir. Your Honor. This incident occurred on the 24th mid-afternoon. It began around 2:30 in the afternoon at Marlette Avenue in Spartanburg. Investigator Barnett is here. He was the lead investigator in this case. On that date, a young man was meeting with some other men the premise of purchasing a telephone. It's my understanding that these men met near the doorway of, I believe it's his sister's house. A shot rang out while on the porch. That young man was shot in the back of the head behind his ear. He's currently on life support at the hospital. The men involved, there's some witnesses in this trailer park area that put 5 men being involved in that crime, and they all fled that location. Through investigations, the police were able to track some electronic information that led back to initially Jason Richardson. He was the one that was setting up the sale of the phone. Mr. Richardson himself made some altercations to some electronic information that he had put out through some app called Let Go. He changed some information trying to suggest that he was in Toronto at the time of this crime. So he's clearly has some after effects of showing his involvement. We term that as evidence of flight or consciousness of guilt. The men were apprehended via some search warrants on some locations from a couple of these men. The police tell me that all of them have admitted to being present and fleeing the scene. Some of them have named the shooter, who's I believe a 15-year-old, that they're still waiting to interview. We consider them a danger to the community based on the nature of the crime. They did flee the scene. It did take some time to figure out who they were. I do believe they did at least cooperate about their presence at the scene with the police. Mr. Do you want to hear any prior record right now?
If you've got any prior records, yes, sir.
Mr. Suber is the only one that has prior juvenile record. This dates back to 2017. Use of vehicle without consent, and larceny, possession of stolen vehicle. He had a probation violation on those charges in 2018. Mr. Halls and Mr. Waters had a previous arrest as a juvenile, but there was no conviction. Their cases were dismissed. Mr. Richardson has no record at all. I would ask that whether Investigator Barnett has anything he wants to add. What's the state showing now?
All right. Any recommendations from the state regarding bond conditions of bond?
Yes, sir. We would ask that they be held over. I believe a member of the family would like to address the court at the appropriate time.
Okay. All right. What family member is addressing the court? All right. Sir, if you will, you see the officer standing there at the filing cabinet. If you will come to where he is standing, please, sir. If you can get out. If you can't, that's fine. Just right there is fine. Okay. All right. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to speak on behalf of our family. You know, we're in a loss of words for our nephew, their brother, son. You know, there's no reason for this action. It was a cell phone transaction. It went wrong. Some of the things that we want to notice is we feel threatened. There's been a lot of stuff put on Facebook through their families to our family about we can get smoked, quote, that we can get this, and they're going to come to us and they're going to beat us up. They're going to do this and that and the other. You know, I don't think they should get a bond. I mean, because they're just the stuff that they've done to a family. You know, it's unacceptable. They're a danger to the society.
All right, thanks, sir. All right, Mr. Halls. Based on the facts of the case, and first of all, this is a violent crime under the laws of South Carolina. Based on the facts of the case, based on the condition of the victim at this point, the court's going to let the circuit court set your bond. I'm not going to set your bond today, okay?
Yes, sir.
And the only condition that I can and will put on this is you may not contact any victim, any family victim, or any co-defendants while being housed at the Spartanburg County Detention Center, okay? What do you plan to do about an attorney?
Oh, I paid for my house.
Okay. All right, come up here to the counter, please. All right, did you read that sheet on the information regarding your rights?
Yes, sir.
You did. Sign my copy, please. There's your pen to the right there. All right. When you get with your attorney, y'all will decide if you want to request a preliminary hearing or not, okay? This is where the state's got to show they have the probable cause. Don't fold or bend that one in the event your attorney wishes to do that. You got a date of initial appearance. That date of initial appearance is September the 26th, 2019 at 9 o'clock in the morning. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you do, take that pen to your right, signed by that X there. Do you wish to receive a text message or a voicemail or an email regarding your, as a reminder to your date of initial appearance?
Or text message.
Okay. What's your cell phone number?
864-606-7211.
You gotta hang on to that one as well. This one, I need you to take that same pen and sign by that X there saying that you do agree to that. All right, we're gonna go, this is your copy of what is called a checklist. We're gonna go over that with you at this point. You understand, number 2 says you understand if you don't show up for your trial date, you could face a fine of $5,000 or imprisonment of 5 years or both. You understand that?
Yes,
If you
sir.
do, put your initials beside 2. Number 3 says we have given to you in writing and we've explained to you your right to a preliminary hearing. If that's the case, put your initials beside 3. Number 4 says that you understand you have a right to a trial by jury. That's something you and your attorney will talk about, okay?
So you want me to initial?
Yeah, if you understand that. 5 says we told you what you've been charged with, the penalty for that charge. We talked about attorneys, and you told us you're going to get your own attorney. If that's the case, put your initials beside 5. And let me get you to sign it by that X right there. Now, on your sheet, I have put that your bond is to be set in circuit court. So what you need to do is get with your attorney and ask him to file a motion to have that carried out, okay? Any questions about your bond?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. You may have a seat back in the pit. All right, Mr. Richardson. What do you plan on doing about an attorney? I think your family member said it. You're also facing a charge of attempted murder. The court must inform you that can carry up to 30 years and is considered a violent crime under the laws of South Carolina. Based on the facts of the case, based on the condition of the victim in this case, the court's also going to let the circuit court set your bond, okay? Same conditions. You cannot, while being incarcerated here at the jail, you're not to contact any family members of the victim or the co-defendants. You understand that sheet that I gave you on the information regarding your rights?
Yes, sir.
If you did, take that pen to your right over there, sign that copy there, please, sir. Okay. Like I told the other gentleman, you do have a right to a preliminary hearing. When you get with your attorney, y'all will decide if you want to request this or not. Do not fold or bend this one. Your attorney may want to do that, okay? Date of initial appearance is scheduled for September the 26th, 2019 at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's where you guys show up and say, I have an attorney or do not have an attorney, okay?
Yes, sir.
If you understand that, put your signature by that X. Do you wish to receive a reminder of your date of initial appearance either through a text message, voicemail, or email? Okay. Cell phone number?
571.
864. 571 is your area code.
645. 1842.
If I can, take that pen and sign by that X right there, please, sir. This is a copy of the checklist that we're about to go over. And I have indicated on there your bond will be set in the circuit court. Number 2 states that you understand if you don't show up for your trial date, once that date is set, you could face a fine of $5,000 or imprisonment of 5 years or both. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
If you do, put your initials beside 2. 3 says we've given you in writing and we've explained to you your right to a preliminary hearing. If that's the case, put your initials beside 3. 4 says you understand you have a right to a trial by jury. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, put your initials beside 4. 5 says we told you what you've been charged with, the penalty for that charge. We talked about attorneys, and you told us you're going to get your own. If that's the case, put your initials beside 5. And let me get you to sign it by that X right there. You can move it till you can see it. Get it. All right, any questions? All right, thank you, sir.
Bob, you just?
Yes, sir, that is yours to keep. Mr. Suber. What do you plan to do about an attorney?
I plan on getting my own.
All right, you're facing the same charge. You're facing a charge of attempted murder. Court must inform you that can carry up to 30 years and is considered a violent crime under the laws of South Carolina. Based on the facts of the case, based on the condition of the victim, the court's also going to allow the circuit court to set you bond, okay? Same conditions. While being in jail, there's to be no contact with the victim's family or the co-defendants. understand that sheet that I gave you on the information regarding your
Yes,
rights?
sir.
If you did, let me get you to sign my copy, please. All right, you do have a right to a preliminary hearing. When you get with your attorney, y'all will discuss whether you wish to request this or not, okay? As long as you do so before September the 26th.
All right.
Wait, talk to your attorney. All right, 'cause if you've got an attorney, most often they like to file those. This one's stating that you understand you do have a date of initial appearance on September the 26th, 2019 at 9 o'clock in the morning. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. This one you're going to keep as a reminder. Do you want to receive a text message, a voicemail, or email regarding your date of initial appearance?
Text message.
All right, what's your cell?
864-205-9718.
I can get you to sign by that X there saying that you do agree to receive that. All right. This is what we'll call a checklist. This is your copy of it. We're going to go over most of it with you. Number 2 says you understand if you don't show up for your trial date, once that date is set, you could face a fine of $5,000 or imprisonment of 5 years or both. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
If you do, put your initials beside 2. Number 3 says we've given to you in writing and we've explained to you your right to a preliminary hearing. If that's the case, put your initials beside 3. 4 says you understand you have a right to a trial by jury. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
5 says we told you what you've been charged with, the penalty for that charge. We talked about attorneys, and you told us you're going to get your own. If that's the case, put your initials beside 5. And then let me get you to sign it on that line right there. Any questions about your bond?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Waters. What do you plan on doing about an attorney?
Yeah, my own.
Charge you have this afternoon is attempted murder. The court is to inform you that can carry up to 30 years in prison and is considered a violent crime under the laws of South Carolina. Based on the facts of the case, based on the condition of the victim, court's going to let the circuit court set your bond on this charge, okay? And again, condition of the bond is no, while in jail, no contact with the victim's family or co-defendants, okay? Did you read and understand that?
Yes, sir.
If you did, I'm going to get you to sign my copy stating that you did read it and you do understand it. You do have a right to a preliminary hearing. When you get with your attorney, y'all will decide if you want to request this. This is where the state's got to show that they have the probable cause to move forward, okay? You got a date of initial appearance. Your date of initial appearance is September the 26th, 2019 at 9 o'clock in the morning. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If you do, sign by that X there. You gonna hang on to that? to help you remind yourself. Also, do you wish to receive a reminder of that date of initial appearance?
Yes, sir.
Cell-
Text message.
Okay. Cell phone number?
864-529-8562.
I can get you to sign on that line above where it says defendant's signature. I need that one back. This is yours. That there basically is what we're gonna go over with you. It does state on there that your bond is to be set in circuit court.
All right.
All right, number 2 says you understand if you fail to show up for your trial date, once that date is set, you could face a fine of $5,000 or imprisonment of 5 years or both. You understand that? If you do, put your initials beside 2. 3 says we've given you in writing and we've explained to you your right to a preliminary hearing. If that's the case, put your initials beside 3. 4 says you understand you have a right to a trial by jury. Do you understand that? 5 says we told you what you've been charged with, the penalty for that charge. We talked about attorneys and you told us you're going to get your own. If that's the case, put your initials beside 5. Let me get you to sign by that X there. Any questions?